couple times a year, free RPG day comes around. And if you've got a friendly local game store in your area, you should definitely go there on free RPG day.
Definitely.
Hopefully they're participating in it. But basically, the way it's run here, and where I've seen some folks online talk about their local stores, people come in, they've got tables set up, and they're running a variety of different one-shot games. My store had 4 tables set up. They had a game starting at 12 o'clock and then a game starting at 3 o'clock. 2.5 hour time limit for the games. The first set of games there were Call of Cthulhu, Starfinder, Kids on Brooms, and a 5e adventure.
Yeah.
I went there really wanting to play the Kids on Brooms. So it's basically Kids on Bikes rules in a Hogwarts type setting. Your students at a magic school. And I got there at like 11:30 for the 12 o'clock games, and there was already the full complement of people sitting at the Kids on Brooms thing, and they were already there and ready to go, that they were actually starting their game early. I'm like, well, son of a bitch, I missed out. So, I mean, with Call of Cthulhu, Dungeons and Dragons, or Starfinder, I went for Starfinder again because I only played it once. And that was the last free RPG day, and I had a blast with it. And it was the same DM. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I'll play that again. It was pretty cool. But there's also like giveaways galore.
Right.
And
that's the free part.
They had, this was cool. They had free RPG bingo cards.
What the fuck?
And you gave them to you. And so the bingo cards would say something like, roll a nat 1, roll a nat 20, do more than 30 points of damage, role play your character in a different voice. Just a bunch of things. And so you'd circle them as they happen to you, and then you'd call, oh, bingo. Right? And so when I got bingo, I got this D&D bittersweet cottage. It's a little model you pop out and you can build this little D&D cottage, and I think it is
the fact that you haven't put it together yet.
Well, because I thought maybe one of your daughters might enjoy putting it together with me.
Oh,
with you.
No. I just told you weren't giving it to them. No, with you is fine. And
I think it's suitable to be then used as terrain.
Yeah.
On your battle map.
Like those 3D terrain things we were talking about.
Yeah, so that was really
That's
cool.
pretty epic.
And then one other thing I got, and I didn't know what it was until I actually pulled it out of the plastic, right? So I thought, oh, they got some terrain stuff in here. And I pulled it out of the plastic. And it's got this rubberized backing. It's so it's just like, a woodland scene. It's got the square marks on here.
Yeah.
It's a mouse pad. That's cool. And this is for you.
Aw.
Or
thank
him,
you.
whichever one you wants to use.
That's fucking epic.
The other, so they had this table full of like one-shot adventures, modules, scenarios for different games. A lot of them like didn't have any rules with them. It was like, if you play Starfinder, here's the Starfinder adventure for this year and whatnot. And it was just a table full of them, and it was like limit 3 per person with a purchase. Right. So you could have gone up there and bought a single dice and gotten 3 of these things. So I spent a lot of time at this table trying to figure out. So I was looking at this one thing. It's a big bad booklet, Zara Harlow from Hit Point Press. And down here it's 5e, right? So it's essentially 5e rules and whatever this is, but it's a pretty cool looking thing. But this book is actually this book if you read it this way. But if you turn it over, it's this book if you read it that way, and it's a Humblewood adventure, and you and the girls are doing your own Humblewood campaign. So this is for the girls.
Oh, wow. That's a gift.
And this was all just free to me. Skitter Warp was the Starfinder adventure that we played while I was there, and I've got the whole thing with the prefab characters and the whole setup of the little adventure. Absolutely free. And I picked up this one It's a steampunk fantasy role playing in the etheric smoke of Victorian London.
Oh.
Victoriana Underground. So I'm not exactly sure what system it uses yet, but I didn't care because we're about to be doing Cthulhu by Gaslight, and I thought if nothing else, I can use this for inspiration. I'll read through it and find some cool Victorian stuff in there. But yeah, it's a little adventure. And if I read it closely, I'm sure I'd figure out what system that goes with. So that was cool. And then this one was not only an adventure, but the actual rules for a game called Root, the role-playing game.
Root?
Yeah. And it's got little owl characters and bunny characters on the back.
Cute.
And I thought I saw a pug on the front.
You do see a pug on the front, and there's somebody looks like a lizardy guy, and that one looks like a mole or a gopher or something like that. But happy about this booklet. Happy Free RPG Day. This booklet was made just for Free RPG Day. It's a preview of Root, the role-playing game, including 6 playbooks, all the basic moves, rules for depletion, wear, exhaustion, blah, 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 blah. So it's basically a quick start rules set and some adventures for Root, the role-playing game.
That's awesome.
Absolutely free.
I love free shit.
Then, because if you want these things to keep... I won this little... This is what I won. So... Once per session, every table had a come up to the front and roll for initiative. And so our table of 4 got up to the front and I had this huge dice and we rolled it, and whatever number you get, then there was this board over here, and for each number there was a different prize. I rolled a nat 1.
Aw, you did tiny boy.
So I got the final race dice set, and if you open this little box up, without like tearing it, because this is a collector's edition.
Right.
Here's a single 6-sided dice. Themed for whatever game this is coming out. This is a promotional thing for a game that's going to be coming out. And like, here's one of our dice. That's what I want. That's what you get for that one. So, but here's the thing: if you're going to go to these free TTRPG days and you want them to keep happening,
you got to support them.
You got to support your friendly local game stores, right? So supporting them. First thing I do every time I go there is buy a new set of dice.
Because why not?
Because I don't take my dice with me when I go there, and invariably I'm like, I don't want to be the dude at the table who's borrowing dice from other people, so I go up front and buy a set of dice. Having been bummed about not being able to play Kids on Brooms, I bought Kids on Bikes. And this was a really easy read. I read through it all in a single day. Pretty cool little system. Think Stranger Things.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Is it like Stranger Things?
It is. I don't want to give anything away, but it is very... Stranger Thingy-ish.
Can we play that and John get a bowl cut?
I think...
I don't have enough hair these days for a bowl cut, sweetie.
Well, that's just disappointing.
Now I don't want to play.
Because I wasn't going to... Wait a minute. Only one of us here can pull off a bowl cut, Emily.
I've been thinking about cutting all my hair. Look at him. Look at him. Huh? You look like Dwight from The Office. Stop.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Fix it. Fix it. Gross.
I also picked up Cyberpunk Easy Mode for free on that table I was telling you about.
Is it like a quick start?
Yeah. So I've gotten through the background of the setting and the world post mini apocalypse after mega corporations gone to war, and they were basically running the world, and I'd just gotten into the mechanics part of the game, but I've been down to play Cyberpunk for a while, and so I saw this, I gotta have that. So I read through that, and it looks pretty good, but not being willing to stop there because I really wanted to. I went ahead and picked up the Cyberpunk Jumpstart.
Oh, something.
It sounds like there's some good stuff in
something
there.
metallic-y.
I have not opened it yet. Maybe we could do an opening video.
That would be cool. We like those.
But yeah, really want to play Cyberpunk, and I got the set. And so this quick start, $30, which is in par with what Everybody charges for their jump start, kickstarts, or whatever. Not kickstart, but quick starts. I don't know if it happens around the world, but in my friendly local game store on TTRPG Day, all their TTRPG products were 25% off.
Yeah, I wanted to be off so I could come because that sounded fun. I just want to roll the giant dice and do my initiative roll.
Yeah, you probably gotten one of the good things. Last year, I won that Humblewood book that you guys are going. But anyway, so free TTRPG Day. It happens at least once a year. I'm thinking it might be twice a year because last year it was like in October or something that I went.
I don't know how often it happens.
I remember going on Free Comic Book Day like every year for a few years, and they usually would have a couple things out TTRPG flavored for that. I
Toilet
think
paper flavored?
we got a Star Wars RPG book one year that we
There was also
never
like
opened.
A goblin book.
Oh, the Pathfinder Weeby Goblins.
Yeah, that was on
Weeby
Free
Goblins.
RPG Day or Free Comic Book Day, one of the two.
I believe it was Free Comic Book Day because we weren't going to.
So whenever it happens, keep your eye out for it.
We'll support them.
Go there. You will have a blast. I only stayed and played one game this year because I had to get back home and do some other stuff. Last year, I stayed for both sessions and played 2 different games. But you can go try a game you never played. Then you get some free stuff for games you've never played or free stuff for games that you already do play. And like, there's a free module for it.
And probably meet some cool people, I'd imagine, because you already found a DM for Starfinder that you like.
Well, the funny thing is I've known this guy for a while. 10 years ago or so. He's probably late teens, early 20s. And he drove out the road right in front of the house. And his front wheel fell off. And so I grabbed my floor jack. We went out there and he jacked it up. The lug nuts had come off, and we could only find like one of his lug nuts. Put his wheel back on. I had a few extra lug nuts in the garage because you know what my garage looks like. And we put his lug nuts on, and he drove. And every now and then, like he was working on Books A Million. I go in there, and he was. I go up to the coffee place. Joe Muggs or something. He's back there. I don't recognize him. And like he gives me the coffee, says, "Yeah, this is free." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "I still remember you and what you did." And then, you know, like, oh, you're the kid with the Monte Carlo, the little Chevy. And like, yep. And just periodically through the years, I've run into him. And now his dad is the one that runs the Friendly Local Game Store. But anyway,
what year was the Monte Carlo?
It was a year that they went like real small and compact on them, like little.
I mean, I'm sure your car's very.
You know
nice.
what I'm talking about? That
I do. I don't know what year it is, but I remember that Monte Carlo had like.
Yeah, it wasn't one of those nice
faces.
1980s Monte Carlos with the big sweeping hood and the trunk that you could hide a body in. No, this is the one.
Oddly specific.
Yeah.